Hello, this is Tom from Thai Landscaping. As you can see by this picture, these homeowners are having a problem with stormwater drainage. The customer told us how they would watch the water slowly creep towards the house. The problem is that their backyard is lower than the front yard, so much of the rainwater from the yard and the roof wind up back here. Plus, they're also getting a lot of rainwater from their neighbors, especially a neighbor's driveway, because their properties are higher. In this first video, we'll be installing a large dry well using infiltrator chambers, stone, and filter fabric. This gives the water a place to go underground so it can dissipate into the soil. We'll be installing catch basins to capture the water and stop debris from getting into the dry well. We'll also be tying in downspouts, a sump pump discharge, and an existing smaller dry well. In an upcoming video, we'll be tying in more downspouts and using some of the excavated soil to stop the neighbor's stormwater from ending up over here. Thanks for watching.
So this week we're going to be doing a drainage job. Very large dry well system, about 2,000 gallon dry well. Tying in a couple downspouts. Right now Tom is tying up this magnolia so we can get the machines back and forth. Their front yard goes up and the front yard is completely flat, if you can see this. They did ask the town if they had any suggestions. They said maybe you can pump it to the front of the yard, but none of it can go to the street. Now, you saw the picture of the water. Where are they pumping it to the front of the yard? It's impossible. And not to go into the street at all. This is how we get the boards into the backyard when we have so many. Okay, we got the chamber system. Bringing that back here. All right, so Tom's taking apart the chambers. This is where they're going. We always lay them out beforehand. We decided to make it 3 chambers wide and move it down a little bit. The gas line is up here somewhere. Here's the gas line over here. So the gas line's here. It comes out. We think it comes straight out and then diagonals to the pool equipment, but we're not sure. There's also electrical lines, and we see sprinkler heads in the ground even though they don't have a sprinkler system. So there's probably an old system here. So there's probably old lines in the ground. Here's the pool equipment, and so I'm sure there's water lines running to this. Customer said they run around the other way, so we'll see when we dig. I'll show you what we're going to do over here. So over here they had a big deck, and over here the deck went around, so that was removed. They've moved in here a year ago, so now they're doing some work on the outside. We're going to be catching this downspout, going around, catching this downspout, going straight across, and we're going to put a 12-inch catch basin right here. It will catch some water, but the main purpose of this is to be a clean out for the downspouts, but also when they backwash their pool, see the blue line, but now he can put it directly into this 12-inch catch basin and go right into the chamber system. So we're going to be running a straight line all the way down here, going right into the dry well chambers. Right here. The downspout over here comes out and goes along this way. There's the clean out for it. There's the downspout and some pumps right there. They're connected to this line, And it actually goes, here's the clean out for it. Over there is a smaller dry well. It's probably about 4 by 6 feet. Tom probed it, and that's all the edges of it. Tom is marking all the elevations with the laser. The whole yard slopes up, and this is the lowest point. So all this is low. It used to be lower, and they had some soil brought in to raise it up a little bit. They are the lowest house in the neighborhood. That house and yard is higher. All their water comes out and goes into the yard. Their house is higher, goes into the yard. To the street is way up. Any rainwater, all the gutter water, all comes into the yard. It's a big bowl. And Tom's marked his spots for the lowest points. And this is where the existing dry well is, which we're going to incorporate it into our system. Since they have it here, it may as well get used. So there is a line from here going to that clean out. We're going to cut that, and then we're going to add pipe going back into this dry well so it can be used. This dry well is only stone and fabric. And I think I covered everything. So I'm going to set you up and help Tom, and he's going to start digging. Tom is just setting up and getting some of this good topsoil that they brought in, and he's putting it over there. We did do a perk test, and they have really good drainage soil, so the dry well is going to work really well here. What?
Should be right about there.
And see, the laser has a receiver right here, and this metal bar has magnets. Tom made that to put on the machine, and then he can set this to the height, and then he has his bucket set to the right depth, and that way he can do a perfectly straight bottom. And it's all set with the laser. now we got to see if we can find that pipe. Should be coming up. It's right there. So this is a pipe for the downspouts and the sump pump. Like I said, it goes across and it goes into that dry well right there. Okay, perfect. Perfect. This is a teeny bit high right there, and I'm talking a teeny bit, but I'll bring it down. See, right now I'm measuring to the top. Since this is the lowest part, this is 26 inches here. But by the time we get down to the end, it will be deeper because the terrain of the soil goes up. So it has to be at least 26 inches at the lowest point. If you see here, I don't know if you can see this on camera, but this is 8 inches higher than when we started down there. So all the water comes down the yard and goes into that area. Same with the neighbors. They all come through the fence. You can kind of see where it comes through. See how this is lower? Right here, it comes across and just fills the lawn. And this customer here tried to stop the water from the neighbor here because his water comes through there. It's higher. It's about as high as his berm. So as soon as this all fills up, that neighbor fills up, they're filled up, and this is just a giant lake. Oh, here's a look inside right now. That's all ready. All right, so this white 6-inch pipe right there that goes to the existing dry well, I'm going to cut that right now. We are going to be replacing this with something different. I think I got it. This blade's about the width of the pipe. I'm going to take all this out because we're going to be reusing the soil. You don't want all these sticks in there if you can help it. The small ones won't hurt, but it's really sandy, so it's easy to get them out. All right, so only one more bucket of soil can go in the truck. Then both trucks are definitely full. So then Tom's gonna have to start stockpiling it. Because like I said, we're getting a big storm. Today is Thursday. On Saturday, we're getting a storm. Some channels say we're getting 2 inches of rain. Some channels say we're getting 1 to 3 inches of snow. This house is closer to the shore, so it's probably gonna get the rain. So our goal is to get the trench dug, put the stone, fabric, and chamber system in, just enough that if it does get the 2 inches of rain that they're saying, that our trench will not collapse. So we have to get that done by tomorrow. All right, I just set a couple of the chamber ends in just to make sure we have the width that we need. It's right now at 9 feet. Alright, so the dry well is dug. Tomorrow we'll bring stone, fabric, put the chambers in. Oh, let me show you. See, that is 26 inches high. And because the ground goes up, but the floor is level. And on this side, remember I said it was +8 over here. And it is 33 inches over here. Most important part about putting chambers in is getting this all level so the water fills in the whole chamber system. If you have one side higher than the other, the water will go to one side and not use the whole chamber. So that's why it's higher over there, because the ground goes up. Okay, so we'll be back in the morning to put the stone in. It looks like a little swimming pool, actually. All right. Now it's time to put the stone in the bottom. Okay. Got to flatten this out. Put the fabric in. Tom's going to get more stone. All right, we use non-woven filter fabric. I use landscape staples. Some people call them sod staples. See, these chambers hook right in here. They got a hook. You stick it in. You just hook it down. Once the stone's on here, they are very secure and they don't move. Just like that. All right, this is about how far I can go until Tom gets back with the stone, because where those white dots are that I painted on each side, you can see it right there. That's where the other pipe went to their existing dry well, and we are going to tie that into here also. And we have to do some drilling and put some different fittings in here. Same with the other side right there. So I can put one more in. But this is what the chambers look like. Now let me show you the slits. See, these chambers have slits all through it. Let's see if I can show you. See my hand? So as the water goes in, it goes into rocks and it rises up. And as it rises up, it will go from one chamber to the next, all at the same time, because the ground is completely level in here. And with all these slits, the water just moves freely from one chamber to the other. and then it will hold the water until it percolates into the soil. And they have really good drainage soil here, so it should be really fast, and it should hold a lot of water.
If you would keep me waiting, I would wait a lifetime. In tricky situations.
Okay, there's the chambers. They're roughly in. Now we gotta get some stone in there.
Nobody's meant to be fighting alone. That's why I'm taking you home. I never felt something like this before, no. Keep coming back for your time after time. Maybe I'm losing my mind, but I know I'll never leave you behind, no. Baby, I got you. When you feel like falling, I'll be there to prove, yeah, that baby, I got you. No matter the distance, no matter the route, yeah, baby, I got you. When you feel like falling, I'll be there to prove, yeah, that baby, I got you. No matter the distance, no matter.
First load of stone. I forgot to show you. This right here is Tom's custom vent and clean out. Once the rock and the dirt's all packed in there nice, there will be a grate on top so any water can fall in. The reason for that is any debris or settlement or anything that goes into the drain that's on top, you can easily take that out. That way you have an opportunity to clean them out. That way you get no debris inside of the chambers, and a dry well will last longer.
That baby, I got you. No matter the distance, no matter the route, yeah. Baby, I got you. I got you. I got you. I got you. I got, baby, I got you. I got you. I got you. Ocean in between us, still I feel your heartbeat. There's something about you, baby, that makes me feel complete. Nobody's meant to be fighting alone. That's why I'm taking you home. I never felt something like this before, no. Keep coming back for your time after time. Maybe I'm losing my mind, but I know I'll never leave you behind, no. Baby, I got you. When you feel like falling, I'll be there to prove, yeah, that baby, I got you. No matter the distance, no matter the route, yeah, baby, I got you. When you feel like falling, I'll be there to prove, yeah, that baby, I got you. No matter the distance, no matter the route, yeah, baby, I got you.
Alright, that's good enough for now. Alright, we're back this morning, and the last 2 days were rainy, and they got about 1.5 inches of rain. There's not a drop of water inside here. There's a little ice because it's gold. Right here is where he's putting a 20-inch basin, so he's getting that ready. So let me move the fabric and help him, because there is an electrical line that goes to that tree. So Tom's digging right now for the basin. It's at 20 inches. It says you're right on. Alright, so the basin's going to go in here. So we need to get some fabric in here. How much you need? Keep going. So now Tom has to drill a hole in there to get our catch basin pipe into the chamber system. There's the inside of the chambers. Okay. Alright, so this is what we have so far. We got the catch basin that is tied into our system, and now there's all fabric around it. We have to just fill that in with stone. It's level right now. We just got to make sure it stays level as we fill around it. Once we get this stone 3/4 of the way up, this basin will not move. And that is the lowest point in the yard. If you remember, this was -1.5, and then he just lowered it 2 more inches. So it's actually -3.5 inches from the rest of the yard. All right, the catch basin's all in. It is level. And then Tom right now is lowering the dirt around there because we're going to be making a swale so all the water goes into this. But if you can see, level that way and level that way. I'm just going to put a piece of fabric over that when he's out of my way. So what we're doing next is that's a clean out for the gutters and the sump pumps and the downspout over there. And then it came through, it went right across and right over to their existing dry well. And that is the pipe that was there. We are eliminating that and we're putting a catch basin there and we're running a pipe into our system. That way no debris goes in here. It's right there. Okay, Tom uncovered the existing pipe. We need to get that out of there. This needs to come out.
Want to cut that side?
Yeah. This over here, right?
What?
This over here, right?
Yeah.
You should be able to pull that right out right now. Oh, you gotta love that thumb. That is awesome. So we got to where the clean out was and we took it out. It came out easy because it wasn't glued, which is fine, which is good for us. Tom is now pouring some water in there in the downspout, right there, just to make sure it comes out here. Yeah, it's coming out. So water's coming out, so we wanted to make sure there was no clogs because we're putting our catch basin in right here. So Tom is going to get another load of stone. While he's doing that, I'm going to fill in under this pipe with dirt. And there's the catch basin. So 3 downspouts and a sump pump, but the sump pump he said doesn't run very often at all, will go into this catch basin. All right, so we're just getting the stone. Tom just finished unloading my truck. He just went and got stone in his truck. So he's going to start on that now. This is how we incorporated the existing dry well that the customer has. So we took his pipe and put a reducer on there and a grate, and I'm going to wrap that in fabric and then put stone on there. So as water gets to that level, it will incorporate his existing dry well as well. Okay, let's get back to work. What we're going to do now is we want to close this up. So Tom is going to dig 1 pipe length, which is 10 feet, so we can get the stone in those ends before the rain comes tomorrow. So let me go measure that. You gotta go a little past so the elbow fits up. Wait. It's a roof. The big long roof.
What?
Huh? Okay, so I'm just watching for anything. Like I said, there's old sprinkler lines in here. All right, so we just got this trench dug out, and right here, that is a middle line, and that is some kind of water line. I don't know if it's sprinkler or water, but it's directly in line with that gas line. So I don't know if there's gas through that, but their pool equipment's right over there. There's all the pool equipment, very old gas line. So if that is a gas line, it's only about 8 inches underground. It's getting late. Let's get this pipe in because we're getting those 2 inches tomorrow.
Another 2.5 inches of rain tomorrow.
Yep.
Hopefully that'll go in.
One second. Go ahead. Go ahead. Okay, that's good. There's a look at the insert into the chamber, and then the pipe goes up. Right now we just put an elbow in the pipe going up because, like we said, it's going to get 2 inches of rain tomorrow, and that way we can close up the whole chamber system but still come back and finish our line that's going way up to the other side of the house over there. So Tom's going to get that as flat as he can with the mini, and then we'll just rake it out a little bit, and then we'll put the fabric on top.
Tick-tock, time's up, but I make a move. Don't think twice now, you got things to prove. I'm not playing.
All right, it's looking good. I just gotta put the fabric on and secure it down for the rain tomorrow.
So let us open up about it, maybe we will fit right in. You got dreams and I got dreams, so let's start making plans around them. Maybe we can dive right in. Oh, don't let me down. I've been killing love songs, honey. Don't fool around. You know I've been waiting, honey. Let's fall deep down in love.
Okay, quick look. We're packing up. It's getting dark. So there's a 20-inch catch basin. The dry well is all fabriced and ready for topsoil. That goes to here. And then we have this pipe just in here for now. And we have it elbowed up so no water can get in and get any mud inside our chambers until we're done. When we come back, we'll go up there and over. All right, so there's a look. So now when we get that rain, these downspouts are in this catch basin, which is tied in right there to our chamber system. All right, good night, everybody. So I just want to show you, we did get snow, and so we are definitely shut down until the snow melts and the ground thaws out. So it's supposed to warm up next week and be in the 50s. So hopefully we'll be back on this job as soon as it happens. See you then.